Well, hey there, and welcome back to Heimler's History. Now it is AP exam season, and I've been making prep videos like a madman, and in this one, I want to help you interpret DBQ and LEQ essay prompts, because if you don't know what they're asking, you won't know what to write, and if you don't know what to write, you'll fail your exam, and if you fail your exam, you'll end up living in a van down by the river. So, this is important stuff, and if you're ready to get them brain cows milked, well then let's get to it. I have yet to meet a student who says, I really like the way the College Board writes essay prompts. They're just so clear and I know exactly what to do. Most students read the prompts and are like, what? And that is particularly the case over the last few years, since the exam writers have introduced that dreaded phrase, evaluate the extent to which, on dang near every one of their essay prompts. So what in the world does that mean, and how are you supposed to write an answer to a prompt like that so as to get as many points as possible? Well, I'm about to explain it up real nice for you. First of all, it's helpful to know why they use this language. The evaluate the extent to which language was a replacement for the way they used to write them. It used to be that you'd see a prompt with the word analyze. For example, here's the DBQ prompt from the 2013 exam. Analyze the connections between regional issues and European struggles for global power in the mid-18th century. What? Now listen, I've been teaching AP World History for a decade, and I had to read that 4 or 5 times before I even came close to understanding it. And that's what the College Board found out too. And we'll just set aside the incredibly vague words like regional issues, and even if you knew what that meant, do you have any idea what it means to analyze something? Well, turns out a lot of students don't. So for many students, they think of an essay as just like a running list of vocabulary and definitions. So you see European struggle for global power, and you start writing about imperialism, and maybe you list the Belgians in the Congo or the French in East Asia, and maybe you feel pretty good about yourself. But a running vocabulary list is not what analyze means. Analyze means write a thoughtful, nuanced historical argument that takes into account potentially conflicting pieces of evidence and craft a historical argument out of them. But since so few people seem to actually know what it meant, they replaced analyze with clearer language, which is evaluate the extent to which. Now, I say that's clear, but some of you still have no idea what to do with a prompt like that, so let me see if I can explain it with a LEQ example from the 2018 APUSH exam. Evaluate the extent to which the Civil War fostered change in the United States economy in the period from 1861 to 1900. Okay, so first notice the historical thinking skill they're asking you to write about. Change. Change in what? The United States economy. Okay, so we're looking at change in the US economy, but when? 1861 to 1900. Okay, stop there. We've established what they want us to write about, how the US economy changed from 1861 to 1900. So basically from the beginning of the Civil War to the end of the Gilded Age. But that is not all that they are asking. They want you to evaluate the extent of the change. In other words, they want to know how much change occurred in the US economy from 1861 to 1900. And so what they're doing is they're trying to force you into an argument. They're trying to help you acknowledge that historical realities don't often fit into neat and tidy categories, but instead are the result of complicated and sometimes contradictory effects. So as you think about your answer to this prompt, you're going to need to take a stand. Maybe you're going to argue that there was a lot of change, or maybe you're going to argue that there was very little change. But in either case, if something doesn't change, okay, what does that mean? It means it stays the same. Instead of change, then, it is continuity. So let's say you're going to argue that there was more change than continuity in the American economy during this period. You decide you're going to write about the emancipation of enslaved people in the South and how that dramatically affected the nation's economy. But you are smart, and you realize that even with that massive change, emancipation didn't fundamentally alter the North-South division of the economy into manufacturing and agricultural work, respectively. So yeah, emancipation meant a huge influx of paid workers into the economy, but at the end of the day, the North still had their factories and the South still had its fields. Now, that's not the only thing you need to write about, but do you see what they're trying to get you to do? They're trying to get you to think about all of the changes and all of the continuities of that time period and decide which of them had more dramatic and lasting effects on the economy. And that is what you write your essay about. You talk about the changes, you name them, you explain them and how they support your argument, but don't forget to talk about the continuities as well, because that will make for a well-balanced essay. Now, to be clear, they're not always going to ask you about change. Maybe they'll ask you about the causes of an event, and it doesn't matter, because whenever they attach evaluate the extent to which to a prompt, they're trying to get you to weigh all the options and choose which is the most significant. All right, thanks for watching. There are a lot more exam prep videos right here if you're looking for more help. And I've got a lot of review materials for you if you need even more help. Click right over here to grab my ultimate review packet or my AP Essay Cram course. And if you want me to keep making these videos, then by all means subscribe and I shall oblige. Heimler out.